Hare Krishna, Lebohang Prabhu. Can you chant the Mangalacharan prayers?
Okay, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Jai Shri.
Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjala Shalakaya Chakshuru Anmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadamayam Dadantisva Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagachatam Sahagana Raguna Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijanam Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalitam Shri Vitam Kampitam Scha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tap Tap Kanchana Gorange Radhe Vrindavanishare Vrisabhanu Sutadevi Pranamare Harepe Pancha Kalpa Trapyascha Kripa Sindhu Bahevacha Paritanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Praschatade Satarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasade Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Haribo, thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
So today we continue each chapter and we talk about Supermans. Haribo.
Okay.
Hagriv Das. Nietzsche's Superman seems to... Oh, Hare Krishna, Yaro Prabhu, Dandat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, all Prabhus, Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Jai Shri Prabhupada. Nietzsche's Superman seems to resemble the Hatha Yogi who elevates himself seemingly independent of God. Shri Prabhupada. Yes, seemingly. As soon as Hatha Yogi gets some extraordinary mystic powers, he thinks that he has become God. This is another mistake, because no one can become God. To some extent, a yogi may attain some mystical powers by practice or by the favor of the Lord, but these powers are not sufficient to enable him to become God. There are many who think that through meditation or Hatha Yoga, it is possible to become equal to God, but this is another illusion, another dictation of Maya. Maya is always saying, why depend on God? You can become God yourself. I wonder where Gianni Prabhu is, because today I didn't see any messages. I didn't see anything. I hope he has a phone.
But I think I saw him in the event and he went out, I think.
Oh.
Question. Yes, I think I saw his name.
Oh, okay, Prabhu. Okay, good then. Because I was thinking maybe his phone was broken or something. But if he Q&A, then that's good.
Okay, Prabhu.
Hagriv Das. Independence seems to be central to Nietzsche's philosophy. In a sense, his Superman is somewhat like Hiranyakashipu, who made the demigods tremble to see his austerities. Prabhupada. Yes, and ultimately he was outwitted by the Supreme himself. It is not good to struggle for material power and control over others. If one becomes a servant of God, he becomes the Superman automatically and acquires many subordinate followers. One does not have to undergo severe austerities to control others. Everything can be mastered in one stroke. As soon as you become a devout servant of God, many people will follow you. Separate endeavor is not required. And what of sense control? Prabhupada, control of the senses is automatically there. Yes, Tibak. How is this tune? Yes, Tibaktir Bhagavat Akinchana Sarvair Gunais Tatra samasate suraha harababak abak tasya kuto mahad guna manorathena sati davatubahi. Is it yes tibaktir bhagavat akinchana sarvair gunaistattra samasate suraha haravabak abak tasya kutamahad guna manorathena sati davato bahi. It's not maybe that soon, but let's go forward. All the demigods and their exalted qualities such as religion, knowledge, and renunciation become manifest in the body of one who has developed unalloyed devotion for the Supreme Person of Godhead, Vasudeva. On the other hand, a person devoid of devotional service and engaged in material activities has no good qualities. Even if he is adept at the practice of mystic yoga or the honest endeavor of maintaining his family and relatives, he must be driven by his own mental speculations and must engage in the service of the Lord's external energy. How can there be any good qualities in such a man? Yeah, I was just searching this verse today. 5:18:12. Because I needed this in preaching to one person who said he's doing Kundalini yoga. I needed this verse.
And Prabhu,
Yes, Prabhu.
and I also found someone, he said he's doing Vini yoga. When I searched, I saw the 8 limbs of yoga. I'm like, get out of here.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. Yeah, I told that person you cannot do this during this Kali Yuga, that you don't have such long life that you can do. And I said that mind is not controlled. So, but he
Oh
said
yeah, yeah.
I do this, it makes me focus easier. But I told him that you can do this for your bodily needs, but I told you cannot get any spiritual realization out of these exercises. So then
Yes, Prabhu.
then I told him that in Bhakti Yoga everything is included, and then he realized, because he's not arguing, he's a good type, so he was not arguing. He said that so Bhakti Yoga, it includes everything, and then I said yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should show this verse to him.
Oh, Shrimad Bhagavatam.
Yes, Prabhu, this was nice one. All the demigods and their exalted qualities such as religion, knowledge, and renunciation become manifest in the body of one who has developed unalloyed devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. So this means that this chanting of Hare Krishna includes all the other yogas and all these exalted, it includes everything, all other practices.
Oh.
On the other hand, a person devoid of devotional service and engaged in material activities has no good qualities. So even if you do all other things and you have even all qualities, but you are not engaged in devotional service, then that is useless.
Yeah.
He must be driven by his own mental speculations and must engage in the service of the Lord's external energy. How can there be good qualities in such a man?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble
Hare
obeisances.
Krishna,
All
Sri
glory
Krishna
to God.
Prabhu, Dandat Pranam, Jai Shri
Hare
Prabhupada.
Krishna Prabhu, accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
This is a nice topic, Prabhu. I feel like the Rastas also, like Nimandita Prabhu, they have set a good example of how they can work and also engage in devotional service at the same time, like
Yes, Prabhu.
maintaining just the bodily needs.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, I didn't tell that
Same,
person
amen.
no that these are banned. I told that one can do this if he wants to do some hatha yoga, some breathing exercise. He can do, but he shouldn't think that he's gonna get some mystic powers by doing that or something like this. Just for the body to be
Yes, Prabhu.
fit.
I think even Prahlad Bhakta Prabhu told that going to gym is a very bad idea. Like you can do basic things to just keep your body
Yes,
free
Prabhu.
from things, but yeah.
Yes, Prabhu. But he accepted, this person said that, so basically Bhakti Yoga is the way. because I told him that there in this Kali Yuga there is no other way, and it is said in the Shastra 3 times in a row, there is no other way. So then he
Yes, Prabhu.
then he was like, but yeah, he was thinking that there at least there is no harm in this Bhakti Yoga. And I told, yes, there is no harm, and then I'll also show the verse, the 240, where Krishna says that in this endeavor, how it went, I forgot.
240 is me.
In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. And this purport is really nice also, this first part. Activity in Krishna consciousness or acting for the benefit of Krishna without expectation of sense gratification is the highest transcendental quality of work. Even a small beginning of such activity finds no impediment, nor can the small beginning be lost at any stage. Any work begun on the material plane has to be completed, otherwise the whole attempt becomes a failure. But any work begun in Krishna consciousness has a permanent effect, even though not finished. The performer of such work is therefore not at a loss, even if his work in Krishna consciousness is incomplete. 1% done in Krishna consciousness bears permanent result, so that the next beginning is from the point of 2%, whereas in material activity, without 100% success, there is no profit. But does this apply, Prabhu, I was thinking that does this apply to, for example, Jnana Yoga? If one does,
Maybe.
one does a lot of Jnana Yoga during his life, does he forget those, or does it continue? Because sometimes it's said that what you learn in this life, you continue from that, even with material things. So I'm not sure.
Is it not considered? Is it not considered material knowledge, Prabhu? Even Jnana Yoga is considered material.
Yes,
or
Prabhu.
is it spiritual?
Yeah. So I think it is lost. It is.
Yes, Prabhu.
If Krishna will, one can remember it, but it's not that automatically one will always get the material knowledge he had. If he has done some pious work, then he might, because sometimes, there is some chess player, for example, who is clearly been playing chess for many lives. So then one might think, okay, everyone gets to keep what he learned materially also. But I don't think
Yes,
it's not like that in everyone's case. Sometimes rarely it happens, but forgetfulness can be there. Maybe one is good at chess for 6th life, but 7th life he might lose everything. But spiritual life you cannot ever lose, or the spiritual progress. I think that's
yes, Prabhu. Probably they wished for a chess player at the end of their life, like really the death they
yes, Prabhu, yeah.
for that best desire, and then maybe Krishna by his mercy he provides them. Because I see some players have been natural talents and they are born with that gift at the age of 3, 4. Like, how is it possible then?
Yes, Prabhu. One second. If one becomes a devotee of the Supreme Lord, he controls his senses and many other living entities, but he never thinks that he has become God or the actual controller. Rather, he receives his power automatically. Okay, Haribol, who wants to continue for the next few pages?
I can agree with you.
Yes, Prabhu, thank you.
One last point on Nietzsche. He believed in eternal recurrence. That is, after this universe has been destroyed, it will be repeated again after many aeons. Srila Prabhupada in Bhagavad Gita has stated, Bhutva Bhutva Kaliyate. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, verse 19. This material world is manifest at a certain point, maintained for a certain period, then destroyed. Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva are in charge of creation, maintenance, and destruction. Above them is Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is the nature of everything material to be created, maintained, and annihilated. Agriva Dasa. Well, that's one type of general repetition, but Nietzsche believed that everything will be repeated infinitely in every detail. That is, the detailed arrangement of the world, arrangements of this world will eventually recur sometime in the future. Srila Prabhupada. The creation will be repeated in detail in that the 24 elements will again be assembled. There are the 5 gross elements, earth, water, fire, air, and ether, and 3 subtle elements, mind, intelligence, and ego. there are the 10 senses and the 5 sense objects. All these will be created again. I agree with Dasa. That's one type of detail. But he believes that eventually Friedrich Nietzsche will live again from 1844 to 1900. Srila Prabhupada, the year 1844 is an element of time, and from the moment of creation, we begin to assign dates. In this way, the date may again be repeated. For instance, every day is a new day, but every day there is 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and so on. There is automatic repetition. I agree with Dasa. If this is the case, if one has to continue using Friedrich Nietzsche or whoever, how is liberation possible? Srila Prabhupada, this material world is created for the conditioned soul who is put here in order to learn his position as the eternal servant of the God. Lord Brahma, the first created being in the universe, is given the Vedic instructions and he distributes them through the disciplic succession from Brahma to Narada, from Narada to Vyasadeva, from Vyasadeva to Sukadeva Goswami, and so on. These instructions encourage the conditioned soul to return home, back to Godhead. If the conditioned soul rejects them, he remains in the material world until it is annihilated. At that time, he remains in an unconscious state, just like a child within the womb of his mother. In due course of time, his consciousness revives and he again takes birth. The point is that anyone can take advantage of the Vedic instructions and go back to Godhead. Unfortunately, the conditioned living entities are so attached to the material world that they repeatedly want to take up material bodies. In this way, history repeats. There is again creation, maintenance, and destruction. I agree with Dasa. Nietzsche believes that even if the minute details will recur, that is, he would again be Friedrich Nietzsche, living in Germany, going through the same actions, writing the same books, and so on. So funny. Srila Prabhupada, why is he so attached to Germany? That is his attachment for Maya. Under Maya's influence, we think that we will again return in these same bodies and do the same things. Sometimes when people hanker after this repetition, they go to an astrologer and ask, can we again come back as husband and wife? This is all due to attachment. There may be an accidental recurrence and one will again be a husband and have a wife, but he will not have exactly the same wife. That is an illusion. What's the point in combining the same husband and wife? The living entities combine for some sense gratification and they get it, be it this husband or that wife. The purpose is the same, though the minor details are different. I agree with Rasa. Sometimes people claim to have experiences of deja vu, thinking that they have been at the same spot before doing the same thing. This convinced Nietzsche of the doctrine of eternal recurrence. Srila Prabhupada, people simply want the same atmosphere. This is due to Maya's influence. Utilitarianism and positivism. John Stuart Mill, 1806 to 1873. Oh. I agree with Dasa. In Essay on Nature, Mill writes, the order of nature, insofar as unmodified by man, is such as no being whose attributes are justice and benevolence would have made with the intention that his rational creatures would follow it as an example. It could only be as a designedly imperfect work which man, in his limited sphere, is to exercise justice and benevolence in amending. Srila Prabhupada, man is called a rational animal. He has a rational nature and an animal nature. Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending are activities common to animals, but a man should cultivate his rational nature. For instance, by his reason, man can understand that it is not necessary to eat meat in order to live a healthy life. It is not that man should be carried by nature's way, which says that man can eat anything. Human beings are accustomed to eating the most abominable foods, and in so doing, they become implicated. Beyond eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, man should search out the absolute truth. In this way, man's rationality is properly used. Otherwise, he remains an animal. Shyama Das. Mill claimed that the world or nature can be improved by man's efforts, but that perfection is not possible. Srila Prabhupada, in one sense, that is correct. This world is so made that although you make it perfect today, tomorrow it will deteriorate. Nonetheless, the world can be improved by this Krishna consciousness. You can better the world by bringing people up to Krishna consciousness and delivering the message of Krishna to whomever you need. This is that is the best social activity you can perform. Shyamachandra Dasa. The goal of the utilitarians was more specifically to obtain whatever the people desire or require. Srila Prabhupada, the people desire happiness. The utilitarians try to give people artificial happiness, happiness separate from Krishna. But we are trying to give direct happiness, happiness that is connected with Krishna. If we purify our existence, we can attain spiritual eternal happiness and bliss. Everyone is working hard for happiness, but how can happiness be attained in a diseased condition? The material disease is an impediment to happiness. This disease has to be cured. Agrivadasa. Mill felt that the virtues like courage, cleanliness, and self-control are not instinctive in man, but have to be cultivated. In nature, he writes, the truth is that there is hardly a single point of excellence belonging to human character, which is not decidedly repugnant to the untutored feelings of human nature. Srila Prabhupada, yes, therefore, there are education systems in human society. Men should be educated according to the instructions given in the Vedic literatures. Bhagavad Gita is a grand summation of all Vedic literature, and therefore everyone should read it as it is. It is not necessary to interpret. Shyamachandra Dasa. For Mill, there are several ways to ascertain knowledge. For instance, we can determine the cause and effects of things by determining whether the phenomena under investigation have only one circumstance in common. If so, we can conclude the circumstance alone is the cause of the effect. Certainly, Srila Prabhupada, certainly there is a natural law of cause and effect. But if we go further to determine the cause, we ultimately arrive at Krishna. Everything has an original source, a cause. To try to find out that the cause of this and that and conduct research, that is called darshana, which means to find the cause. Therefore, philosophy is called darshana shastra, which means finding the cause of the causes. Cause of the cause. The idea is that we ultimately arrive at Krishna, the original cause of everything. Shyamachandra Dasa. But what kind of test can we apply to phenomena to find out the cause? How can we determine that God is the cause behind everything? Srila Prabhupada. For every phenomenon, there is a cause, and we know that God is the ultimate cause. Mill may give many methods for studying immediate causes, but we are interested in the ultimate cause of everything. The ultimate cause has full independence to do anything and everything beyond our calculation. Everything that we see is but an effect of its original push. Shyamachandra Dasa. If we see rain falling and want to prove that God is the cause of rain, what test can we apply? Srila Prabhupada, the Shastras, the Vedic literatures. We are advised to see through the Shastras because we cannot see directly. Since our senses are defective, direct perception has no value. We therefore have to receive knowledge through authoritative instructions. Shyamachandra Dasa. In other words, when we see an apple from a tree, we have to see through the eyes of trust in order to see the act. Srila Prabhupada, God has made his laws so perfect that one cause affects one thing, and that in turn affects another, and so on. We may see an apple grow and explain it as nature, but this nature is working according to certain laws. An apple has a certain color and taste because it is following specific laws set down by Krishna. Krishna's energies are perfect and are working perfectly. Everything is being carried out under systematic laws, although we may not perceive these laws. Shyamachandra Dasa. Scientists admit that nothing can come out of nothing. Srila Prabhupada, if something emerges, there must be a cause in the background. We say that the root cause of everything is Brahman, the absolute truth. Dasa. Mill certainly did not see God as the cause of evil. In fact, he considered God at war against it. Man's role is to help God and God end this war. He writes, if providence is omnipotent, providence intends whatever happens, and the fact of its happening proves that the providence intended it. If so, everything which a human being can do is predestined by providence and as a fulfillment of its designs. But if, as is the more religious theory, providence intends not all which happens, but only what is good, then indeed man has it in his power by his voluntary actions to aid the intentions of providence. The providence desires only the good. The living entity is in this material world due to the improper utilization of his will. Even though he wants to enjoy the material world, God is so kind that he gives him facilities and directions. When a child wants to play in a certain way, he is guided by some nurse or servant hired by the parents. Our position is something like that. We have given up the company of God to come to our material world to enjoy ourselves. So God has allowed us to come here saying, all right, enjoy this experience. And when you understand that this material enjoyment is ultimately frustrating, you can come back. Thus, the Supreme Lord is guiding the enjoyment of all living beings, especially human beings, so that they may again return home back to Godhead. Nature is the agent acting under the instructions of God. The living entity is overly addicted to misuse his freedom. He is punished. This punishment is a consequence of the living entity's desire. God does not want a human being to become a pig, but when one develops such a mentality by eating anything and everything, God gives a facility by providing a body of a horse. God is situated in everyone's heart and is noting the desires of the living entity from within. According to one's desires, God orders material nature to provide a particular body. I agree with Dasa. Will further writes, limited as on this showing, the divine power must be by inscrutable but insurmountable obstacles. Who knows that man could have been created without desires which never are to be, and even which never ought to be fulfilled? Thus, Mill concludes that the existence of evil or pain and death excludes the existence of an omnipotent God. He sees man in a position to aid the intentions of providence by surmounting his evil instincts. God is not infinite in his power, but because if he were, there would be no evil. Srila Prabhupada, evil is undoubtedly created by God, but this was necessary due to the human being's misuse of his free will. God gives man good direction, but when man is disobedient, evil is naturally there to punish him. Evil is not decided by God, it is created because it is necessary. Although a government constructs prisons, it prefers to construct universities so that people can attain an education and become highly enlightened. Because some people misuse their independence, prisons are necessary. We suffer too due to our evil activities. Thus, God, being supreme, punishes us. When we are under the protection of God, nothing is evil, everything is good. God does not create evil, but man's evil activities provoke God to create an evil situation. I agree with Asa. In the Judeo-Christian tradition, God is at war with Satan. In Vedic literature, there are also wars between the demigods and the demons, as well as Krishna and the demons. But these wars do not seem to be taken as serious confrontations between God and his enemies. Isn't Krishna's mood always playful? Srila Prabhupada, since Krishna is all powerful, when he is fighting with demons, he is actually playing. This fighting does not affect his energy. It's just like a father fighting with a small child. Once slap is actually gives the demons the chance to play by fighting him. But one strong slap is sufficient. There is no question of fighting with God. He is omnipotent. However, when a living entity is disobedient and harasses the devotees, God kills him. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chadusritam. Bhagavad Gita chapter 4.8. When Krishna descends on this earth, he chastises the demons and protects his devotees. Whenever there is a fight between the demons and the demigods, God takes the side of the demigods. Agree with Asa. Mill saw it more like an actual struggle between God and Satan or even. Srila Prabhupada, there is struggle because the demons are always transgressing God's rules. A demon is one who rejects God's rules, and a demigod is one who accepts them. That is the main difference, as stated in the Shastras. I agree with also. But Mill pictures God himself as struggling hard in the fight to confront the demons. Srila Prabhupada, God has no reason to struggle. According to the Vedas, he is so powerful that he has nothing to do. Just as a king may have many servants, ministers, and soldiers to carry out his desires, Krishna has many energies that act according to his order. Krishna himself has nothing to do. He is playing his flute and enjoying himself. That is Ananda. Although he is enjoying himself, the universe is going on in accordance with his honors. Through the agencies of his energies. There is no question of God struggling. He doesn't even have to fight. His various agents can easily kill all the evil demons in the world. Shama Shudradasa will believe that God's good, but that he is involved in the world of his own making. Srila Prabhupada, is God to be judged by Mr. Mill? God is good, but not as good as Mr. Mill thinks he ought to be. Is this his opinion of God? Is God good in all conditions, or is God only good when Mr. Mill considers him good? What is God's position? Shama Shudраdas. Mill says that the presence of evil indicates that if God were everything, he would not be completely good. Srila Prabhupada. Therefore, God has to depend on the opinion of Mr. Mill. Said that Mr. Mill does not approve of all God's activities. Shama Shudраdas. He maintains that God is good, but that he is limited in his power. If his power is absolute, everything will be good. Srila Prabhupada, how nonsensical. Everything is good. That is our philosophy. When God kills a demon, immediately flowers are showered from the sky. Whatever God does is good. Krishna danced with other men's wives in the dead of night, and this activity is worshipped as Rasa Leela. However, if an ordinary man does this, he is immediately condemned as a debauchee. In all circumstances, God is good and worshipable. It is not that we subject God to our judgment, saying, oh yes, you are good, but not so good. Fools think, I am better than God. I can create my own God. God creates us, but we cannot create God. Unfortunately, Mill did not know what is evil and what is good. He should have known that whatever is created by God is good, even if it appears to be evil to us. He may think that such and such is evil, but actually it is good. We do not know how it is good. That is our fault. God cannot be placed under our judgment. In all circumstances, God is good. I agree with Dasa. Mill was particularly interested in the role of authority. In the utility of religion, he writes, consider the enormous influence of authority on the human mind. Authority is the evidence on which the mass of mankind believe everything which they are said to know, except facts of which their own senses have taken cognizance. It is the evidence on which even the wisest receive all those truths of science or facts in history or in life, of which they have not personally examined the proofs. You can neither defy nor deny real authority. We are presenting our Krishna consciousness movement on this principle. We should carry out the orders of this authority, and Krishna, or God, is the supreme authority. Whatever he says must be accepted without interpretation. In this way, everyone can be happy. Those who are sane do not hesitate to accept God's authority, and they become happy abiding by its orders. Those who exactly follow the instructions of the supreme authority are also authorities. Spiritual master is the authority and the master. The key forms of the spiritual master. Thank you, Dr. Concerning morality, Mill writes, belief then in the supernatural, great as are the services which is rendered in the early stages of human development, cannot be considered to be any longer required either for enabling us to know what is right and wrong in social morality, or for supplying us with motive to do right and to abstain from wrong. Srila Prabhupada, morality means abiding by the orders of God. That is real morality. Other moralities are manufactured and they differ in different countries. Religion and real morality, however, function according to the same principle. Religion means carrying out the orders of the God, and morality means following those principles where we can fulfill the desires of the God. Of God. Before the battle of Kurukshetra, Arjuna considered killing to be immoral. But when he understood what the instructions of Krishna the fight was necessary, he decided to carry out the duty as a Kshatriya. So, this is morality. Ultimately, morality means carrying out the desires of God.
Haribol. Thank you so much,
For
Prabhu.
this, there are two moral sanctions of conduct. Haribol. Yes,
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for reading. Now we need to go to six Astakam prayers before it becomes too late.
Thank you.
Haribol. Yeah, this chapter is really nice. There is nice arguments and Prabhupada destroyed completely. But yeah, he had the foolish points so many times.
So like always like normal general people like this like things like this only.
Yes, Prabhu. There was not
Normal
much
people
logic.
think like this only.
Yes. He always Prabhupada established that he doesn't know because he doesn't see it through Shastra. So he cannot know.
Yes.
And then he said authority. What is it? And yeah, then they say that evil is God is fighting with evil. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamaha nirvapanam shreyah kairava chandrika vitaranam mityavadu jivanam anandam pudivardhanam pratipadam purnamritasvadanam sarvatma snapanam param vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. Next.
नामकारि बहुधानि सर्वशक्तिर् तत्रार्पिता नियमिता स्मरणेन भावाय एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि जरदैवं निदृशं हैजनीननुग्रहा.
Trinad. Okay, Prabhu, please come over there. Trinad api suni chena taro api saheshnuna amanina manadena kritanya sadahari.
Nadanam na janam na sundarim kavitam va jagadisha kamaye mama janmani janmanishvare bhavatat bhaktirahaitu kitvai.
Ainandam tanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishame bhavam buddho kripaya twava pada pakanjaya stita duli sadrishim vichintaya.
Nanam galadashrudharaya vadanam gadgada rudaya gira pulakarnichitam vapuh kada tavanam grihane bhavishyati.
युगायितं निमेषेण चक्षुषा प्रार्वेशायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दं विरवे नमे.
Asislia va padam ratam pinastumam adrisanam marmam hatam karotu va yatatada va vidatu lampato matprana natastu saeva na para.
Haribol.
Very
Glory to
bold.
Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. The Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
Oh my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings and those you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Oh my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy name. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
One should one should chant the holy names of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy names of the Lord constantly.
O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful woman, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth.
O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal savior, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up. Please pick me up from from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet.
Oh my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name?
O Govinda, feeling your separation, some considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence.
I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipable Lord unconditionally.
Haribol, Sri Success.
I, right. So I have one doubt, like not doubt, but I have to ask you told that in material intelligence it will be only 7 years in reading session at starting, but the spiritual is continue in next life also.
Like how, Prabhu? I didn't understand.
True, materials material uh, accepts like intelligence that
Yes,
things will until 7 years like that you told too, or
no
you told
problem.
like that.
No, we were
Okay.
talking that they might stay many lives. For example, the
Mhm.
chess player, he might be good
Mm.
for many lives, but suddenly he might forget it the next life. So it's not guaranteed that he will.
Okay, okay. I confused, bro. Sorry.
No problem. Cool. Yes, I think one can be good for one human life, and then maybe next 10 human lives he will forget the thing, and then again he might be good at one life if he desires to become again.
Yes. Yes, bro. Like karma, karma holds all.
Yes, Prabhu. Okay, the 10 offenses to the holy name. First offense, to blaspheme the devotees who had dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name.
Second offense to blaspheme the devotee. Sorry. To consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma to be equal or independent to the name of the Lord Vishnu.
Haribol. Who knows 3?
Considering the
Yes,
no,
bro.
sorry.
Disobey
Disobey
the
the spiritual master and consider
to him to be an
and
ordinary.
orders of the spiritual master and seems to be
Chapter the orders of
okay. Hero Prabhu ki jai.
Jai. What is the next? I forget fourth one. I remember 5 and 6.
Fourth one is like to blaspheme. Like sorry, no, to blaspheme. The Vedic.
Oh yeah, to blaspheme the Vedic literature and the
Literature.
versions to the Vedic version.
Reboot. The fifth one is to consider the names of consider the names of sorry, considering sorry, considering the glories of Hare Krishna to be in imagination.
Yes, Prabhu.
मैं कौन क्या लेते का?
Sixth one is to think, to give interpretation to the what it is, how it goes. Is it to give interpretations to the holy name? Is it just like that? Sure. Yeah. Give some interpretations to the holy name is the 6. Okay, 7. Commit sinful activity.
Seventh one is to yes, so Rebo.
8th one is karma kanda, but I forgot how it goes because it's long one.
Karmakanda, it goes like to consider.
Yes.
Considering the chanting of Hare Krishna.
To be one of the auspicious ritualistic
spiritualist activities, which is which is like auspicious activities which is offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities.
Yes,
Karmakanda.
Or 9th one, to instruct the faithless person of about the glories of the holy name. 10th offense, not have faith. To not have faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain attachments. No. Do not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. Vancha Kalpatarupyascha
Prabhu.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Haribo. Jai. 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 Haribo.
Prabhu.